Good morning, my kindergarten dolphins. Welcome to our first lesson. I'm so excited to get started today, and we're going to begin today with some reading. So this year we have something super exciting going on with reading. We're going to get to meet our friends, the Superkids. Now the Superkids are a group of 12 friends who live in the same neighborhood. Maybe you guys live in the same neighborhood as some of your friends. Or maybe you live near some of your cousins or some of your family members. Well, these kiddos, the Superkids, they're all really good friends and they live in the same neighborhood. Now, what makes them super? Well, what makes the Superkids super is that they all have something that they really love to do, and they're going to share it with us this year. We're going to meet our first Superkid today, and her name is Cass. I'm going to show you what Cass looks like. This is a picture of our friend Cass. She is the first Superkid that we're going to meet. What do you notice about Cass? She's wearing a hat. And what kind of hat is that? It's a chef's hat. It's a chef's hat. Cass really loves to cook. Now we can look at Cass's name and we notice it is spelled with a C-A-S-S, K-A-S, Cass. So today we're going to start learning about our friend Cass, our first Superkid friend. I added her picture up here, and when we learn about the rest of our Superkid friends, we'll add them up here as well. But for now, we just started learning about Cass, so her picture is the first one up there. Now to learn about Cass, we have a book that we get to read. I'm going to show you what this book is, and you have this book too, so we can look at it together. Here's the book that we're going to use to learn about Cass. It says, Meet the Superkids, Cass, and then has a picture of Cass on it. Now, the reason it says Meet the Superkids is because, like I told you, we're going to be meeting 12 Superkids, and they're going to help us learn to read and write by telling us a little bit about themselves and what makes them super. So here on the Meet the Superkids book, it also has a place for you to write your name. We're going to get started reading all about Cass, so I want you to go ahead and add your name right here because this is your special book about Cass, and I'm going to do the same. Okay, I have my pencil. I'm going to add my name to my Cass book. So here I go. I'm starting all the way on the left side, making my M for Miss O. There I go. I added my name to my Cass book, and now I'm ready to begin learning about Cass. Are you guys ready? All right, we're going to get started. So before we begin our lesson, we need to talk about what our objective is. An objective is something that we're going to be learning today. We have a special rhyme that we do when we talk about our objectives. If you already know this rhyme, you can do it with me. If you still need to learn it, that's okay. You can repeat after me. When I point to myself, that means it's my turn. When I point to you, that means you repeat. Objective is what we are going to learn. So that's telling us what our objective is. It's what we're going to learn today. Let's hear what our objective is today. This time, I'm going to point with my special pizza pointer to my words as I read them. Here's my sentence. It's telling me what our objective is, and I'm going to read it to you. I can identify words that begin with C. So I did a few actions while I was reading our objective. I pointed to my eyes when I said identify, because when we're identifying something, that means we're finding it with our magnifying glass, and we need to use our eyes to look and find. When I said begin, I pointed to my shoulder, because we're talking about the beginning of a word, not the middle, not the end, the beginning sound. And then we're going to look for words that begin with C. The reason we're talking about letter C is because we're talking about our friend Cass, and her name begins with letter C. So we're going to really be thinking about that letter C and the sound it makes as we talk about Cass. So that's our objective. I can't wait to get started on it. Okay, now we've talked about our Superkids book. We know what we're going to learn today because we heard our objective. So it's time for us to get started. The first thing we're going to do is we get to hear a song about our friend Cass. Your job is to listen closely to the song. See if you can hear some things about Cass. What does she like to do? What's her cat's name? All of that stuff is going to be in the song. Afterwards, I'm going to ask you to tell a conversation buddy about what you heard. A conversation buddy is a friend that you can talk to about what we're going to be studying. My conversation buddy is my dolphin, Doll O'Finn. So you can use your dolphin or another teddy as your conversation buddy. So when I'm done listening to the song, I'm going to take a minute to tell my conversation buddy what I heard. So if you want to pause right here and get a conversation buddy that you can talk to, that's okay too. And here we go, we're going to hear the song now.
My name is Cass and I love to cook, so come into my kitchen and take a good look. Three big crocodiles, so much to eat, when Cass is in the kitchen cooking up treats. My cat's named Coconut, she's fluffy and white, she helps me make goodies that taste just right. Three big crocodiles, so much to eat, when Cass is in the kitchen cooking up treats. I like to play baseball and swim and read and run, but cooking up concoctions is my favorite kind of fun. Creepy crocodile, so much to eat, when Cass is in the kitchen cooking up treats. Carrots are crunchy, corn is sweet, my casserole concoction is really a treat. Creepy crocodile, so much to eat, when Cass is in the kitchen cooking up treats.
So what did you all hear about Cass? Take a second now and tell your conversation buddy. I'm going to tell mine. I heard that Cass really likes to swim. She really likes to cook. She uses things like corn and carrots to make a casserole concoction. I wonder what that means. I bet we'll talk about it in a second. I also heard that she has a cat named Coconut. Did you guys hear those things? Maybe if you want to hear the song again, you could go back and listen to it again and tell your conversation buddy or have them listen too. I'm going to put my conversation buddy down now because it's time for us to do something else. So now we're going to open our Cass book to page 1, and it looks like this. I have it on the board here so we can talk about it and all look at it together. But you can have it open right in front of you. On this page, we see our friend Cass and her cat Coconut, and they're getting ready for a picnic. Cass has her casserole concoction. A casserole is a dish that's made with lots of different foods. Concoction means like something that you make up. So Cass put lots of different foods. What kind of foods do you see in this casserole? I see some carrots, some peppers, maybe some corn. That's really cool. She made a casserole concoction, and she and Coconut, Cass and Coconut, are going to eat it. I wonder what other things we see on this page that begin with our C sound, just like casserole, concoction, and carrots. We're going to circle the things that begin with C. So I need you to get out your pencil, and I'm going to use my marker here to circle things on this page that begin with C. How do we know that they begin with letter C, though? We know that Cass's name begins with C because we have it written down over here. But what do we hear that tells us it begins with letter C? We hear the k sound because that's the sound that letter C makes. So already I know my friend Cass begins with C, so I'm going to circle Cass. Cass begins with C. Cass has a cat. Cat also begins with C, so I'm going to circle her cat. Her cat's name is Coconut, which is also a C word. I also see some cookies. Cookies begins with C. I see some cat snacks. Cat snacks begins with C. What other things do we see? I see a clock. And I see her casserole concoction. I also see some other things in this picture. I see a box. Does box begin with the k sound that letter C makes? No, so I'm not going to circle it. What about the stool? Does a stool begin with the k letter C sound? No, it doesn't, so I'm not going to circle that either. Ooh, I see a can down here. Can. And it's a can of cashews. Does anyone know what a cashew is? A cashew is a type of nut, a yummy snack that they're taking on their picnic. I'm going to circle my can of cashews because that's another word that begins with a k sound that letter C makes. I also see some cups in their basket. Cup is another word that begins with C, so I'm going to circle it. I think we found a lot of words that begin with letter C. Over here, I have my uppercase and my lowercase c. This is what they look like. A big half circle. Uppercase C and lowercase c. And I circled lots of things on this page that begin with letter C. I hope you did too, because now it's time for you to do some by yourself. So now that we've practiced identifying or finding words that begin with letter C, it's your turn to do it at home. You have a book that looks like this. It's called Meet the Superkids Practice Pages, and you'll see all of our Superkids on it. So we're going to be meeting all of our Superkids this year, and we started today with our friend Cass. There she is. So now it's time for you to practice identifying things that begin with letter C. In your book, you have a page that looks like this. It's called Practice Page 2. And at the top, there's a place for you to write your name. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to look at all of these pictures and decide, what ones begin with letter C? What words have the k sound at the beginning? And you're going to circle them. Once you're done circling the words that begin with letter C, you can color in the pictures. But make sure you only circle the words that begin with letter C. For your student book 1 and your practice page 2, please take a picture and send it to me on the portfolio so I can see the awesome work that you did today. Great job, you guys. It was so fun meeting Cass with you, and I can't wait to do more work with Cass tomorrow. See you later.